Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some awesome spice battles in the Great League Remix Cup featuring XL DWEBBLE. Now, DWEBBLE does not even max to 1500 CP, so to use it, you're definitely going to need XL candies. This battler does have the 100 IV DWEBBLE and has it powered up to level 47.5. Like Crustal, DWEBBLE is going to be a rock and bug type Pokemon, and for the moveset, it's running Smackdown, X-Scissor, and Rock Blast. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and let's take a look at XL DWEBBLE in action. Hopping into the first match, picking up a pretty decent lead, Trevenant into Empoleon, and the opponent save switches into Shadow Abomasnow. Tries to swap out there, unfortunately a little bit of lag, but now able to bring in XL DWEBBLE. XL DWEBBLE will be hitting for massive super effective damage with the smackdowns, but then again, these weather balls from Abomasnow definitely hurt. DWEBBLE, not the biggest guy around, he's definitely going to need to commit the shield, but the good news is, leaves with a bunch of energy, and even though these X-Scissors are resisted, Empoleon is so glassy in the Great League that this damage will add up. Able to get off the second X-Scissor onto the Empoleon, and actually able to force a shield from the Empoleon. Nicely done. And now bringing in Barbaracle. Barbaracle does only take neutral from Empoleon, whereas Trevenant has the ability to take super effective from Drillpex, so I definitely understand that decision. Plus these Cross Chops charge so quickly. Cross Chop will take them out, and they have a Lowland Graveler in the back. Going for the Cross Chop, hopefully should be able to get the shield, and then has energy saved on Trevenant. The aggressive switch into Trevenant. Trevenant is going to be going for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball does do more than Seed Bomb, even though Seed Bomb is more efficient. And it looks like the opponent may have force closed the app as the charge move went through, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, Trevenant into Jirachi, pretty nice lead, but a Greedent save swap does not look to be a very comfortable save swap for this team, as you're forced to bring in Barbaracle, and Barbaracle is taking double super effective damage from the Bullet Seeds. Barbaracle does spam out these cross chops pretty quickly, but Greedent is very, very bulky. Also, I'm pretty sure the Greedent threw a body slam at it the first time. You definitely want to throw Crunch, being a rock type. Barbaracle is, of course, going to be resisting normal type charge moves. Going for another cross chop, able to force the shield, which is very nice, and able to get to yet another cross chop. So Barbaracle putting up a pretty good fight, but unfortunately Greedent is going to double shield, and they are able to farm down. That is not ideal. Bringing in the DWEBBLE, the opponent switches into Shadow Machamp, and now bringing in the Trevenant. Rock Slide, ooh, that hurts. That is big damage there, but fortunately the counters are double resisted, so it's a bit tough for Shadow Machamp to farm down. They blind throw the Seed Bomb, but the opponent brought in Jirachi. That is heartbreaking there, as I believe they would have been able to get to the Shadow Ball, and now DWEBBLE has a pretty uphill fight here. Going to commit the shield, Doom Desire would be hurting quite a bit, and now going to be going for the neutral X-Scissor. X-Scissor isn't the biggest damage move ever, but does get Jirachi low. In comes Greedent. Now the question is, can you farm down Greedent and get to the X-Scissor? If so, we should be okay. Come on! Oh, DWEBBLE falls one smackdown short of being able to take out the Greedent. Greedent lands the Crunch, and that is a good game. Alright, hopping into the next match here, we have, a little bit of lag there at the beginning, Trevenant into Shadow Polywrath. Shadow Polywrath is definitely a scary mon to go up against, as Ice Punch will do a big amount of damage, and they save switch into a Alolan Marowak, and it's DWEBBLE time. DWEBBLE with the smackdowns doing big damage onto the Alolan Marowak, and honestly, tanking the Bone Club there pretty well. Goes for the X-Scissor bait, unfortunately not able to get the shield. Going to commit the shield on the Bone Club, and now going to commit to the farm down. So DWEBBLE does leave with some energy there, but unfortunately going for the bait and having that call does prove to be a little costly. All charge moves here are resisted, going to be going for the Rock Blast, and Rock Blast does get the shield, so the opponent's unfamiliarity with DWEBBLE's moveset pays off in a big way. Does have energy loaded on Trevenant, just have to make sure they can't catch, and they do not. Going for the Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb will be doing big damage onto the Shadow Polywrath. They do shield up, has to commit the shield, and again, I would watch for a potential catch. Ice Punch coming through, and waiting to make sure it's not caught, going for the Seed Bomb. Seed Bomb takes out the Polywrath. What is in the back? It's Excadrill of all things, and now should be in an okay spot here. Going for the Seed Bomb lands, bring in Barbaracle, force them to throw because Cross Chop charges so quickly. Drill Run almost takes them out, and now from here can hopefully Shadow Claw down with the Trevenant, clutching up, and that is a good game. Alright, hopping into the next match, we have Trevenant into Snorlax. This is a pretty bad lead, going to be save switching into Barbaracle, and again, Barbaracle with the quick energy generation of Fury Cutter, going to go for the Cross Chop, and the Cross Chop lands and does a solid chunk of damage, and able to get to a second one. The Snorlax is farming up quite a bit of energy, maybe looking to go for double superpower, but they let it go! The Snorlax just lets it die, and they have Shadow Granbull in the back. Unfortunately, not able to get to the Stone Edge, forced to go for the Cross Chop, and nice counting by the opponent, recognizing that they wouldn't be able to get there. They bring in the Trevenant, the opponent has a Lowland Muck, and now can safely bring in the DWEBBLE. So the nice thing is, able to win alignment, which is very, very big, so hopefully, if you're able to commit enough shields on the DWEBBLE, you will be able to keep the Trevenant away from the Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck going for the Dark Pulse, DWEBBLE needs to shield up to fire back with the X-Scissor. X-Scissor, the opponent is not shielding up, but DWEBBLE is able to farm down, and now you just go for the X-Scissor. The Charms will do big damage, but I'm expecting to get a shield here. Does get the shield, and now you switch back into Trevenant, and Trevenant is healthy enough where you can just farm all the way down, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Trevenant into Luxray. This should be a pretty good lead so long as they're not running Crunch, but the Luxray is staying in, decides to shield up to respect it, and unfortunately it was the Wild Charge. So it looks like they don't have Crunch, they're probably running Wild Charge and Psychic Fangs. They switch out and they have a Pidgeot on the safe switch, but here's where Barbaracle is so good, charging up that Stone Edge so quickly. Stone Edge one-shots the Pidgeot, let's go. Back in comes Luxray. The Sparks are hitting for super effective damage, but Barbaracle is not done. Able to reach the Cross Chop, and Cross Chop does get the shield. Maybe they're going for a very aggressive Spark down, but that is not going to work out. Barbaracle reaches another Cross Chop. They're actually able to farm down the Luxray. The opponent does not even get to see the XL DWEBBLE, and they concede the match. Alright, hopping in the next match, we have Trevenant into Tangrowth. Tangrowth, pretty spicy pick to see in the Great League. You love to see it. The opponent save switches a Alolan Marowak, and this is why you bring XL DWEBBLE. DWEBBLE going to fully commit to the smackdown here. Shields up, unfortunately, was just a Bone Club, but should be able to confidently survive a second here. And then DWEBBLE, able to farm down and leave with energy, so if they bring back in Tangrowth, we'll be able to hit for super effective with X-Scissor. The opponent recognizes that and brings in the bulky Whiscash to tank some energy, so a very nice read there by the opponent. Now, Whiscash may think it can Mudshot down here, but that's going to be a bit of a tough task. Whiscash realizing they can't, they will actually have to throw, and at this point, Barbaracle is unfortunately pretty useless in this game. To get any usefulness out of it whatsoever, you kind of just have to bring it in against the Whiscash. Able to force a shield, which is very nice, and the opponent snipes with Tangrowth, and I think you just let this go. You 100%... Oh, they rock slided! They baited expecting the shield, but Barbaracle was not gonna shield. Great awareness by this battler, recognizing the win con is Trevenant, and now going to be able to land the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball takes them out. Back in comes Whiscash, and here you can very safely shield up. They go for the Hail Mary Blizzard. It will not save them. Able to save the shield, recognizing the win con. Seed Bomb will be taking out the Whiscash here, and that is a good game. So that was very nice job in that match, recognizing the win con and getting usefulness out of a Pokemon that honestly didn't have a lot of play versus the opponent's team. Terrible lead in the next match. Save switches into Barbaracle and baits out our Trevenant. Now, this is a tough swap here, but if you can land the Stone Edge, which he's able to do, this is big. You can shield once, Fury Cutter down, and actually win switch advantage, which would be massive, able to win switch, and now Pidgeot will not be aligned with the Trevenant in the endgame. I'm expecting after seeing the Stone Edge, we'll probably see the third. That makes quite a bit of sense. Building up to the Stone Edge and baiting with the Cross Chop. Able to get the shield from Mew. That is very nice. Tries to go for the Stone Edge, and the Mew has excellent counting. Throwing the Surf as the Stone Edge is reached. Brings in the Trevenant. In comes Pidgeot. And now it's all up to DWEBBLE. DWEBBLE going for the Rock Blast. See if we can try and get the shield. A little bit of lag there. It feels like it's just been a lot of lag lately, which is tragic. The Rock Blast just about takes out the Pidgeot. You can honestly let this go at this point. Feather Dance, that's just fine. DWEBBLE does not care. Back in comes the Mew. Unfortunately, the attack is debuffed. Almost got to the X-Scissor, but the Mew decides to throw. Surf will come through, but at this point, Trevenant can very safely close out this match. It's unlikely they're running Surf Flame Charge, so can safely let that go. It's almost assuredly Surf and Wild Charge, so you can let the first go, shield the second, and Shadow Claw all the way down. So very nicely played there. Good game. All right, hopping into the next match here. Oh, it's starting right away. All right, just throwing us in there. All right, apparently we have Trevenant against an invisible Raichu. Okay, Raichu going for the Wild Charge, save swapping into a Ludicolo that we're actually able to see. Very nice to see there. Going for the Seed Bomb bait and able to get the shield and able to get to the Shadow Ball. That is very, very nice. Shadow Ball will be doing big damage onto Ludicolo, and it's a CMP tie. That is very nice. I'm not sure I agree with the shield here, but deciding to shield up, trying to farm down, and just barely able to farm down. In comes Lapras, and now going to switch into Barbaracle, as Barbaracle will be able to hit for super effective damage with both charge moves here. Unfortunately, the opponent does know about Stone Edge, and they do commit the shield. You can safely let this go. One Surf will not KO. It's only when we get to a second that things may get a bit interesting. Going to shield up, so not saving a shield for DWEBBLE. The opponent brings back in the invisible Raichu. I can't believe these are words that I'm saying. And it gets Stone Edged. Back in comes Lapras, farming up, trying to get to the Stone Edge, and the Lapras recognizes that they would be able to get there, and they throw the Surf. And now it's up to DWEBBLE. DWEBBLE comes in, the smackdowns are chunking, DWEBBLE reaches the Rock Blast. That is going to be enough to KO the Lapras, and that is a good game. And we do have one final bonus battle submitted by this trainer, still featuring XL DWEBBLE, but with a different team. So hopping into the match, we have Shadow, Shiny, Hypno into Diggersby. This is a terrible matchup to go up against Diggersby, but the opponent safe switches into Frostlass. And this is usually a pretty okay matchup for Frostlass, but at this much of an energy disadvantage, the Shadow Hypno should be in a pretty good spot. Able to force the shield with the Thunder Punch, correctly shields the Shadow Ball, which is nice, and the confusions are adding up enough that you can probably KO with a Thunder Punch. After a confusion or two more, going for the Thunder Punch will be taking them out, and honestly, this works out pretty well. Able to win switch, they bring back in the Diggersby to throw some energy. Just gonna let this go. You can align the Toxicroak on it there. Farming up here. The opponent tries to snipe with Trevenant, but they mistime it. Hypno gets to the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball will be one-shotting the Trevenant. And now back in comes Diggersby. Diggersby has so much energy loaded. Going to shield up. Unfortunately, they do get baited. And now this could be an Earthquake. If this is what looked like a really good game, is now suddenly looking dire. In comes DWEBBLE. DWEBBLE has to get to a move, and it just cannot. This should be the Earthquake. Can DWEBBLE survive? DWEBBLE tanks an Earthquake from Diggersby. Gets to the X-Scissor. X-Scissor takes out the Diggersby, and that is a good game. All in all, I had a ton of fun watching these battles. XL DWEBBLE definitely isn't the best Pokemon around, but I admire the commitment, grinding those XL candies to build a Pokemon this tiny and able to get wins with it. These battles were a lot of fun. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.